This video will highlight the changes made in eWiSACWIS for the November 2018 release. Additional information can be found in the November 2018 release notes and the user guides located on the eWiSACWIS Knowledge Web. On the Prior Involvement tab of Access Reports, a column has been added to display the name of the primary worker on all open cases. This applies to all types of access reports, CPS reports, services reports, and youth justice referrals. This new column is sortable, like all of the other columns on the page. Click on the column name to sort. The name of the worker with the current primary assignment to the corresponding open case will be displayed. If no case name appears in the case name column, a value of NA will be displayed. If the case that appears in the case name column is closed, then closed case will be displayed instead of a worker's name. If the case that appears in the case name column is open, but does not have a worker assigned, a value of NA will be displayed. If the primary worker changes, the name in the primary worker column will update when the page is refreshed. On the desktop, two new values have been added to the Actions dropdown that is located to the right of the case name when the desktop is in case view. Clicking on Create Case Phase Sheet will allow the user to generate the case phase sheet from within eWiSACWIS rather than requesting it through the on-demand process in EW Reports. Clicking on Imaging Search will open the Imaging Search page with the case already selected. When the page opens, it will automatically perform an initial search with all image categories and all case participants selected, and a pre-filled start and end date. To narrow the search results, the user can enter different search criteria and click the search button again. In addition, one value is being removed from the Actions dropdown that is located next to a case participant's name when the desktop is in participant view. Clicking on Maintain Participant Information used to open a window that allowed users to update legal, education, and medical information for the participant. This option has been removed, as this information should be updated through the person management and legal record pages. The migration of pages to HTML5 continues with this release. Converting eWiSACWIS pages to HTML5 will allow for future compatibility with other browsers and the ability to adapt to smaller screens on mobile devices. The pages will have a slightly different look and feel, but no functionality has been changed or removed. A couple of changes were made related to imaging. You will now be able to print a variety of image file formats directly from eWiSACWIS, including JPEG, GIF, TIFF, and BMP or bitmap. The second enhancement related to imaging changes the imaging category for two existing imaging types. When the imaging search page is launched from the Regulation 7 group box on the Placement Request Detail tab of an ICPC referral, the category field will pre-fill with education. When the imaging search page is launched from the Documentation tab on an ICPC referral page where the sending state is Wisconsin, the category field will pre-fill with Legal Document if Permanency Plan is selected as the documentation type. When the imaging search page is launched from either the ICPC referral or the ICPC record, and the documentation type is Individualized Education Plan, the category field will pre-fill with Education, and the type field will pre-fill with Individualized Education Plan. Likewise, when the imaging search page is launched from either the ICPC referral or the ICPC record, and the documentation type is Permanency Plan, the category field will pre-fill with Legal Document, and the type field will pre-fill with Permanency Plan. A number of changes were made to the Medicaid eligibility process with this release to make the process more efficient. The first set of changes is related to certification for children in a subsidized guardianship. A new agency value will be added to the Medicaid certification page dropdown of DCF subsidized guardianship. If the agency is set to DCF subsidized guardianship for a certification and the MedStat code is KC or KG, the certification to date will be set to the last day of the child's 21st birthday month. Upon save of an SG eligibility determination with a status of continue payment, Medicaid certification will automatically be created for the child if there is no active certification. The certification to date will be set to the last day of the child's 21st birthday month. Upon save of an SG eligibility determination approval, the system will cancel an active Medicaid certification for the child if the determination status is suspend payment. The second change automatically cancels a child's Medicaid certification when an adoption-related agreement ends. Upon save of the final approval of the ending of an adoption assistance agreement or a private adoption agreement, the child's active Medicaid certification will automatically be canceled 3 months after the agreement end date. For example, if the agreement end date is 6/15/2018, the certification to date will be set to 9/30/2018. The third change automatically creates Medicaid certification for a child when the following agreement types are reopened: Adoption Assistance Agreement, Subsidized Guardianship Agreement, Private Adoption Assistance Agreement, Successor Guardian Agreement. Upon save of the reopening of any of these agreement types, Medicaid certification will automatically be created for the child. The certification to date will be set to the last day of the child's 21st birthday month, with a status of ready to send. A new automated message will generate if the active primary residence address is out of state. The automated message will read, Medicaid enrollment out of state AA and SG. The fourth change modifies save processing on case closure to stop creating adoption ICMA cases automatically when certain case closure reasons are selected. If the following case closure reasons are selected and approved, the ICPC pre-adoptive child case will be closed, no new person record will be created, and no new ICMA case will be created. ICPC child adopted with non-Wisconsin AA, ICPC child adopted with non-Wisconsin SG. ICPC stands for the Interstate Compact on the Placement of Children. ICMA stands for the Interstate Compact on Adoption and Medical Assistance. The next change is related to out-of-home placements for children with an open adoptive service. If a new removal placement is approved and the child's MCI ID matches the MCI ID of any child with an open adoptive service, the adoptive child entering out-of-home care automated message will generate. If a removal placement is made in error and the child's MCI ID matches the MCI ID of any child with an open adoptive service, the adoptive child discharged from out-of-home care automated message will generate. The last Medicaid change is related to changes on a person management record. For a person with an active Medicaid certification, if changes are made to the first or last name, Social Security number, or MCI ID, a new Medicaid certification will automatically be created. The next change is related to the out-of-home placement or recommended placement notification letter. In order to pre-fill the school and school district name and address onto the out-of-home placement or recommended placement notification letter, additional fields were added to the Education Notification page. This page is launched from the Education tab on the Person Management page in the School District Jurisdiction History group box. As you begin typing in the school name field, a list of suggested values will display. When you select a school from the list of suggested values, the school address field will populate with the address of the school you selected. If you do not find the school you are looking for in the list, you can manually type in the name of the school and the school's address. In addition to pre-filling the school information on the letter, a few minor changes were made to the out-of-home placement or recommended placement notification letter. Text was added to help instruct the worker where to send the notification. A few changes have been made to the private provider page. First, the Background Checks tab has been renamed to the Personnel tab. Next, instead of having images directly on the private provider page, there will be an imaging search hyperlink which will open up the imaging search page with the person, image category, and the date range automatically selected. Another ongoing project is the conversion of templates from RTF to PDF. The templates listed on the screen have been converted with this release. There were also some minor changes and bug fixes for ticklers with this release. The confirming safe environments and reconfirming safe environments ticklers will move from the planning category to the safety category. A bug was reported a few months ago where child-youth image ticklers were being duplicated in certain scenarios. The issue was identified and fixed in this release. Three new end reasons were added to the end reason dropdown on the service ending page to allow workers to more easily shift between relative unlicensed and kinship placements with the same provider. The new values are replace with court-ordered kinship, transfer to court-ordered kinship, transfer to relative care unlicensed. The ending reasons displayed are dependent on the child's current placement. Ending a placement with one of these new end reasons will automatically create a new fully approved placement with the same provider. If the provider does not have the active court-ordered kinship or relative care unlicensed service type for the county of the placement, this process will automatically add or activate it. When replace with court-ordered kinship is selected as the end reason, the placement will be marked as made in error, but no other work will be made in error and no pending work will be removed. A new youth justice referral process was added to the eWiSACWis in the June 2018 release. We continue to make minor changes to the page as needed to accommodate the variations in county processes. With this release, we have added the ability to indicate that the youth was charged as party to a crime under 939.05. Prior to this release, this could be selected from the statute, description, classification, offense dropdown, but this will be removed from the dropdown and replaced with the checkbox. This concludes the overview of the most significant changes in the November 2018 release. If you have any questions or need any help related to eWiSACWis, please do not hesitate to reach out to the eWiSACWis Help Desk. Technicians are available Monday through Friday from 7 o'clock a.m. to 5 o'clock p.m. to assist you.